So welcome to video 4. We're going to go through how you will create and or update your maker page. So for general overview, there's a makers tab here right on the left hand side. When you mouse over it, the all makers and add new menu comes out. Don't click that. Don't click either one of those, and I'll explain to you why in a minute. Just click the makers link with the little hammer next to it. So you're going to come to your maker page. You will see that with where your user, your business name is already, it has already been added. You'll see that your author has already been added, and your category has already been added. It is really very important that you do not click add new. The reason for this is that's a functionality of the database that is used by Handmade Arcade administrators to add new makers. In order to remove it from the actual maker page, it's a significant expense that was just out of scope of our budget. So do not click add new. I cannot stress that more. If you end up with 2 maker pages here, it will confuse the database, and your page, the right page that you have populated, may not get pulled into the virtual marketplace. So if you do click add new, by mistake, you need to email Trisha at handmadearcade.org as soon as you do it, so she can go in and remove it. Okay, so if you do another super important note, if you come to this makers page and you do not have anything here that has your business name underneath the title, you need to stop what you're doing and email Trisha at handmadearcade.org. It's TRICIA. And let her know that that's not there, so that we can create that page for you. You can't create it on your own. The reason for that is that we have to link your page to a specific market, so we just have to do it for you. So don't click new, don't think you're helping, just email us and we will take care of that for you as soon as possible. If you are working on this over the weekend or in the evening, you can feel free to text Trisha that you don't have your page set up. You should have gotten her phone number in your acceptance letter, and that is okay. She is leading up to events. I'm referring to myself in the third person, but I'm often working weekends and evenings. I do turn my phone off around 8:30 p.m. So if you text me late at night and you don't have what you need there, it's not going to happen until the next day. So you might as well just sign off and wait until you hear back from me. I will email you and let you know when the page is there. Okay, so we're going to jump in. You're going to hover over your name. There are 2 ways in. You can either click your name or you can click edit. On this page, there are going to be 11 places where you can change or add information, and we're going to go through them one at a time. So the very first place is your business name. We added this in when with the business name that you used when you applied to Handmade Arcade. This will be pre-populated, so you are going to want to double check this. You're going to want to make sure we didn't misspell your business name. You're going to want to make sure that it appears the way you want it to. And for example, if you have, if your business name is CC Foley Makes LLC and you don't necessarily want the LLC to show up, but we had it on here, you can just, remove it. So that's the first place. The second place where you can make a change is in the permalink, which is the link that will show up on the actual website when the virtual marketplace is live. The way you do that is you click edit. And so if you change your name, for example, let's say I misspelled this. And when you came in here, you noticed that your business name is actually not CC Foley Makers, but CC Foley Makes. If I made that mistake, it's going to show up here in the permalink. So you're going to want to remove the R here, click edit, and then make sure that the text here is correct. If you go in here and you just type CC Foley Makes and leave spaces, and you click OK, the website's going to automatically add dashes where the spaces are. So you can change that to whatever you like. We highly recommend that you keep it the name of your business. Otherwise it creates confusion. The third place where you can make changes is the YOAST SEO area. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. So it just is just another way for you to be found. If someone does a Google search during a maker during a virtual marketplace. It's just sort of like a boost for you. There are a couple things that you can change here. You can see that the title here is handmadearcade.org and then CC Foley Makes. You can insert variables here by clicking this. Actually, let's just delete this so you can see the difference. So you see that all disappeared here. If you want to insert a variable, we ask that you do the site title first so that the Handmade Arcade comes up. And then you can do a separator. So there's a dash. And then you can do the title, which will be your business name. The slug is basically the same as your permalink. We recommend you keep that the same. And then down here in the meta description, this is just like a short paragraph, sentence or two to describe your business. You can see that here we added CC Foley is a Pittsburgh-based artist who recreates pop icons by painting them on tiny pieces of cardboard. All pieces are done by hand. Oh, but look, there's a typo. So we'll just delete that. All pieces are done by hand. You'll see that the bar underneath it is green, and that's kind of the sweet spot of the amount of text you want to add. If you keep adding information, it's not a negative, but you want to kind of hit that sweet spot. It doesn't really make a difference. So, so when I went to add more, you'll see that it turned yellow or orange, and it's like you've gotten to that point where it's like sort of optimized when it's green. So we're just going to delete that and keep it green. So there you have it. That is how the SEO works. So over here on the right hand side, after you do anything, we suggest you click update and save your changes. The database does not automatically save changes for you. So I recommend after you do anything, you do click update, because it has been known to crash when a bunch of people are in there making changes all at once, the closer we get to a marketplace. So we've done that. We've done the SEO, so we can click this little arrow, close it, and get it out of our way. Okay, so then underneath the YOAST SEO, you're going to see the maker fields. It's got 3 tabs: Maker Info, Social Links, and Slideshow. We're going to go through them one at a time. So Maker Info, the very first thing you're going to want to do is add your logo image that we talked about earlier, resizing to fit in a circle. So you'll see, I did that kind of quickly. So I'll click Add Image, and then your media library will pull up, and we pre-uploaded our images, so they're already there. So we're going to click the Handmade Arcade logo, and then down here and you'll know that it has been selected because a blue box with a check mark in it will appear, and then you click the select button, and there you have it. There's your logo. So if you want to take a look right now and see if your logo is sized properly the way you want it to look on the maker page, you can take a look by clicking Preview Changes, and a new window will open. And you'll see that this circle, it's the circle logo. It's right in the center. The name of the business is here, and the category has been listed. Handmade Arcade is going to assign you the category based on how you applied. We'll get to that. We'll talk about that a little further. So you can take a look. That looks good to me. So I'm going to go back to my maker page. So we'll scroll down a little bit. So underneath adding the logo, there are other places to add information. So your website link title goes here. So this is just the title of your website. It's not the actual link to your website. So if you wanted to leave off the https:// you should. If you want to leave the www, you can. I personally like it to add a website without the www and just have handmadearcade.org. And then down underneath that is the actual link. So this is where you want to make sure you add your entire link, and you want to make sure that you, especially if we're talking about e-commerce sites that are being linked to, you want to make sure that you have a secure server. So you want to make sure you have an https:// link. If you have an Etsy site or you're using Shopify or any of the out-of-the-box prepackaged e-commerce sites, that should already exist for you. And then you're going to want to add your email address. So here I'm going to add Trisha@handmadearcade.org, because this is the email address I check most often. And this is the email address that if anyone were to email me directly from your maker page in the marketplace, that I will know to get. This is super important customer service tip. I'm going to remind you of this here. When you applied to be a participant in the marketplace, you agreed to our terms and conditions, which I don't know if everybody always reads. But one of the points on the terms and conditions states that all online customer service matters are the sole responsibility of the accepted vendor. Any reports to Handmade Arcade about a negative customer service experience may impact a vendor's chance of participating in future Handmade Arcade events. So what does that mean? That means I always get emails after the event with compliments and complaints. Some of them are worth noting, and some of them are just grouchy people, and there's not much we can do about grouchy people in this lifetime. But if you put an email address on here that you don't check, and somebody emails you and asks you for help and asks for you a question, and it's just you miss it because it's something you don't check, then that's like a lost opportunity for you. That's a lost sale. That's a lost connection to a customer. So I can't stress this enough. And I know that some of you folks probably think that's crazy. Who's using email addresses that don't get checked? It's a much bigger problem than you realize, or I wouldn't bring it up so often. So down here under maker description, scroll down a little. This is the text field where you will copy and paste your maker narrative. We recommended that you keep it, again, I'm just going to go over what the maker description is really quickly for the folks who didn't watch the video 1 where we talked about it at length. It's this short paragraph going to appear between your slideshow and your product images. If you want more information about that, you should go back and watch prepping video 1. You should go back and watch video 1, prepping your files. But we want you to use this as sort of an elevator pitch, keep it under 300 words. This gives the visitors an idea of what your store and your brand is about. Remember to spell check it, run it through Grammarly. If you don't already use it, we suggest you start using it. So I have this pre-written in Word or in a Google Doc, and I'm just going to paste it into here. So I'm going to put an about me right here. You can do a hard return and there'll be a space between it. Or if you don't want that space, you can do a soft return. You can highlight the text. You can bold it. You can not have a return there. You can mess around with the spacing. I think that this should be written in the first person. Please don't bold the entire block of text. It looks really bad. If we see that it has been bolded, we're going to come in and unbold it. If you want to italicize something, you can italicize something. If you want to link to something, for example, you want to link to the Salvation Army annual fabric sale, you can click link. I don't know what that website is, but we'll just do just really quickly, just so I can show you this. So what you want to do if you want to click a link is click the link options, and then you're going to want to open the link in a new tab once you add the link in there. So, and then if you wanted to bold the link, you can bold the link. If you are like, that's silly, I don't want to do that, you just go here and you re-highlight it and you click the unlink button and you unbold. That is everything you need to know for this first Maker Info tab. So we're going to click Update, and then we're going to take a look at the page to show you what it looks like. I recommend clicking Preview Changes after every update. It's just sort of like a fun way to see how your page is being built. It will open in a new tab, and you'll see that over here, the maker's website has appeared, handmadearcade.org, my email address has appeared, and my maker narrative has appeared. This is purposeful in that it is in a scroll box because we wanted to take up as little real estate as possible on the page to really highlight your images. So we're going to click back and we're going to add your social links. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about your social media links. If you are using Instagram as a personal account, as for example, like you're just posting pictures of your family, your dog, your cat, your trips to the grocery store. We recommend you not using that account. We'd like you to have a business account. If you use your personal account as your business account and it's an integration of like the personal and your business, that's totally cool. We get that. A lot of people do that. But if you are going to put a social media account on here, you have to make sure, first of all, it's public and that it in some way shows your business. If you just do a personal account, it doesn't always make sense for the users. So in here, you'll see that Facebook is the URL to Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter are already pre-programmed in there. So you can just click on it, and then Handmade Arcade came up because I've done this before, but you just put in your Facebook, your full URL to your Facebook account. So when you go to add your Facebook account, if you don't know what the full URL to your Facebook account is, you can just open up Facebook. Hope nothing silly opens, and click to, for me, my shortcut to Handmade Arcade, my personal account opened first. And you'll see that the full URL appeared up at the top. Just click copy, click paste, and you can do the same for Instagram, Pinterest, or Twitter. Now here's the great thing about the Handmade Arcade maker page. If you don't have an Instagram account, don't put it on there. It won't appear. Handmade Arcade does have an Instagram account, so I'm going to click that on. Handmade Arcade does not have a Pinterest account, and we do not have a Twitter account. Well, we have a Twitter account, but we don't use it, so I'm not going to add that to my social links. So I'm going to click update, and then I'm going to preview the changes. I'm going to suggest you preview your changes. It's going to take a minute to load after you do, especially when you add links, because it's really important that you check your links. So I didn't do it when I first checked this, but I think it's important now. We click on the handmadearcade.org link to make sure that I actually put the right link in there. I did, hooray! Click on the Facebook link to make sure it goes to the Handmade Arcade Facebook account, which is my business account. So you will see all of the business stuff here, and then my Instagram account, and it should open up to my Instagram account page, which is great. So we know those work, so we don't have to worry about that. You'd be surprised how often somebody makes a mistake, a typo in these links. So it's best that you check as you go. So we're going to go on to the third tab, the slideshow. Okay, so you'll see there's nothing here. There's not a thing here. So you're going to want to click add slide. Now I'm going to repeat something that I said in an earlier video. For the slideshow, you are permitted to add 6 elements. If you add any more than 6 elements, we're going to delete anything above 6. So if you can't decide between some 1 or 2 pictures, just put the one you may like a little less as the 7th, because I'm going to go in and delete it. The reason for that is that it's too much. We did a lot of research, and we did had a lot of conversations with the marketing folks over at ImageBox who developed this website for us, and we decided that sort of the sweet spot of user attention span is 6. 7 is just too much, and we're asking you to refrain from adding 7 or more, even though you're going to be able to. So what you're going to see for every time you add a slide are 2 spaces. You can add an image, or you can add a video URL. I'm going to talk about adding the slideshow images first, and then adding the video URL second. So for the purpose of the next couple of minutes, we're just going to completely ignore the video URL. This is just a grayed out dummy URL in here. It will not go anywhere. You do not need to worry about that. So we're going to click add image, and remember, I uploaded all my files earlier. If you didn't, you can go here, click upload file, click select file, navigate to where you have your files saved, click on it, and then click open. I'm going to just upload a picture that I already have, and you'll see that it's going to appear here with the blue bar coming up, and it takes a minute to upload because the database crunches the files to make sure we don't overload everything. And what will happen is, I've uploaded this already, so when it uploads, it's going to add a 1 at the end. You'll see that I have a doubled image in my
media library, which doesn't really matter, but try not to add double images because it does take up web space. And in deleting, you're not actually able to delete your own images, but I can go in and delete them if if our database becomes too overloaded. So this is my slide one that I want to put on there. So I'm going to click that, click select. And then I'm just going to, and then to add a new slide, I just click add slide, add image. We'll do, and so you just repeat that until you get all 6 images. Whoops. All 6 slide images added to your maker page. If you make a mistake and you double up and you accidentally add an image that you've already added, no big deal. Oh no, I added that. It's the same thing. You can delete it in one of 2 ways. You can delete the entire row by clicking that button here, and it'll ask you, are you sure, remove, cancel, and you can click remove, or you can click cancel, or you can just delete the image by clicking the X. So I'm going to go back, add another image. How many do I have? So that's 4. So I'm going to add a 5th image, and then I'm going to talk to you all about the video slide. Okay. So when you go to add your video, so every maker has the opportunity to have a video component of their maker page. The video, so when you get your at some point you're going to get an email from Handmade Arcade that includes the preparing your files for the virtual marketplace. It talks about your narrative, it talks about your profile images, your image sizes, slider images, all of that stuff that we've already gone over. And then it also talks about your video file. So video files are optional. You can either, like I've said, you can either have 6 image files or 5 image files and 1 video file. So there are some requirements with the video file. It needs to be under 3 minutes in length. Anything longer, users will abandon. We have a list of accepted file formats, which are listed here, which will be in this document that will be made available to all makers. And also on here, you can go back and view maker videos from past events to get an idea of what other makers talked about or what they did. There's some really great videos here on the Handmade Arcade YouTube channel that you can go and check it out. There's a whole bunch from our 2020 virtual marketplace and our 2021 spring virtual marketplace. There's a lot of great content there. Okay, so once you've decided you're going to do a video, you have to record your video and you have to get it to Handmade Arcade via our Dropbox. You're going to get a Dropbox request link for it when you get preparing your files. The link will be on there, and and there will be a deadline. You can see this was the prepping your files for the virtual marketplace that we did in June with the Origins cohort, and you can see that Sunday, June 13th was the deadline to get the video file to me. The reason we do that is because we want to be able to take your video file and move it to our YouTube channel so that it's all branded and found under the same space. And then once it has been put on our YouTube channel and we name it and all the stuff that we do, we'll send you the link. So once you get your link, you can then take your video link, and so you'll get it in an email likely from either me, Trisha, or the info box, and just paste it in there. And you do not add an image. This is super important. Don't add an image because it'll like double up on the page and it'll look funky. So we're gonna update it. We've added all of our slideshows, and then we're gonna preview it, and then I'm gonna show you how you can move your images if you do not like the order in which you've entered them. So you don't have to enter them in order. Like you can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if you label them as such. But if you don't and you want to just see what it looks like, you can drag and drop and change the order of them after you've entered them. So we're going to go to preview changes, and
here's our slideshow. I get really excited about this kind of stuff. So these are pictures from past Handmade Arcade events. Some of our makers who've participated in the past. And these are some shoppers. And then here, I decided to use the video from one of my favorite makers, Dan Burfield from Tilt Cycle, and I'm gonna just play the first few seconds of it because it makes me ever so happy.
Welcome to Tilt Cycle!
I mean, it really truly doesn't get any better than that. All right, so you're thinking to yourself, that was such a great way to start my slideshow. That should be first. Oh, another reason why we want you to have your videos on the Handmade Arcade YouTube channel is because then we can brand it right here. And we have a whopping 30 subscribers right now, but someday that will change. And we have your name on there and we have the Meet the Maker video title. So I'm like, oh, well, that was a great way to start off my maker page. So I want that to go first. So all I have to do is hover over the number 6 here until the cross appears and drag it up and drop it at the top. And then let's say I want to put my actual product picture right after my video. So I'll do the same thing. I drag it and I drop it until it's in the spot that I want. And then I've got my makers and my shoppers after that. So I'll go back up and I'll click update and we'll go back to preview changes. We'll hit refresh and the video appears first and you'll see that the slides have changed. And that is how you add your slideshow videos. Okay, so the next part of your maker page you're going to want to update are these 4 boxes on the side. One is maker tags, maker years, business types, and maker categories. We're gonna go through them one at a time. So the maker tags are part of the custom search functionality for the website. We purposefully created a search by tag function so that if a user who comes to the site wants to find a gift for their quirky aunt who loves dogs and robots, she can find the right maker to buy from. You can use as many tags as you want in the search functionality. Right now there are hundreds of tags to choose from. If you cannot find the tag that really works for your business or your products, you can just email your suggestion to info@handmadearcade.org. And also feel free, if you see a spelling error in any of the tags, to email us and let us know. We will want to get that fixed ASAP, and it has been known to happen. So I am going to just click a few tags. I'm going to click, let's see, I make things with aliens, animals, I make artwork. Just kind of scroll through. There's quite a few to scroll through, so you just want to be patient and scroll through as many as you can. I make belts and belt buckles. Actually don't make any of this stuff, but you know, a girl can dream. Bottles and bottle openers. Let's see, what else do I make? Oh, I make coffee every day. Well, I make coffee cups. I make dresses and I dye things, and I use a specific sort of dye for my products. And I use feathers and felt. I make things for gamers. Remember that the virtual marketplace is designed to be a gift market. So if you know you want to get a gender neutral baby gift for someone, for example, you can click that. Or not get a gift, but if you make gender neutral baby gifts. I make gold earrings and I make things for my kitchen. Again, there are many tags to choose from. I would take your time and go through these and click anything that represents any of the products you make. And that way when a user comes to the website and they search by tag, they can find you. Okay, so the next box you're going to want to choose is maker years. Now, some makers have been a member of our community for a very long time. Some are newer. Just a little hint, our very first Handmade Arcade
was actually in 2005. This 2004 probably shouldn't be here. We were founded in 2004. So if you've been a maker at every single Handmade Arcade from the start, which I believe is only one maker who I shall call out by name, Strawberry Luna, right now, you are going to want to click all of the years. If you participated in Handmade Arcade at one of the Construction Junction events, those were in 2005, 2006, and 2007. If you participated in the maker events at the Hunt Armory, those were in 2008, 2009. You may forget we didn't have an event in 2010 because we didn't have a space. But we had a spring and a winter event in 2011. That was our very first year at the convention center. So if you started with Handmade Arcade when we started at the convention center, you're going to want to make sure that you were there 2011 on. So every time we have a virtual marketplace, we're going to add we'll add a year for it. The most recent one we had was the 2021 Origins Marketplace and the Spring Marketplace. So you want to just click whatever markets you've participated in. So I started participating with Handmade Arcade as a maker in 2006. And then in 2011, I started volunteering and I participated as a maker. 2015, I became the director, kept participating as a maker. I think I didn't participate one or two. And then I just participated in 2019 as a maker. And then I made a promise to myself and to my family in 2019 that I would never do it again because it is way too hard to run Handmade Arcade and participate as a maker. So those are all the maker years that I've participated. And then the next box are business types. So we have a variety of business types that you can choose. This is just another search function and another way to support different types of business. For me, I would choose a woman-owned business. You can choose as many boxes that fit your business type as possible. If there is a business type that is not listed that represents your business, again, please email info@handmadearcade.org and we will add that business type as soon as possible. So we want to make sure that we are being as inclusive as possible. And then down here are the maker categories. This is important. This is based on how you applied to Handmade Arcade. So if you applied in the other category, it's going to be selected as the other category. Do not change this without permission from me, from the executive director. The reason for that is we accept so many makers in every category. We get hundreds of applications every year. As you can imagine, for example, jewelry is one of our biggest application categories. We get, well over 100 jewelry applicants every year, but we only accept 30. And we stick to that. Well, I don't know if it's 30. It's actually, it gets changed up every year. But for example, we only accepted 30 jewelry makers this year. If you decide to change your category, that sort of throws off the balance of what we've sort of carefully constructed as a unique marketplace that allows for a bunch of different types of businesses to participate. So if you were accepted to Handmade Arcade and you applied, for example, as children's products, but you really might fall more under toys, and you want to change it, we just ask that you ask us permission first. If you are accepted as a youth maker, we ask you to choose youth maker, and you'll know that because you applied for a special scholarship. If you're a sponsor of Handmade Arcade who's participating in the marketplace with a page, you would click sponsor. But other than that, really don't change your category without express permission from us. We set this up when we set your page up. And so that is all I would choose for that. Click update. And that is it for this part of this section of populating your maker page for the maker fields, for the maker info. So while it updates, and then we'll go and click preview changes, and it's gonna load with the changes. So we've got our slideshow, we've got our categories. Mine is other and a woman-owned business, my website, my social media links, my email address, all of the years I participated in Handmade Arcade, my maker narrative, and you'll see my products are still not there. that is our next video, so stay tuned and we will show you how to upload your products next.